during that era of late 60s, early 70s. And this was, blue collar guys that had probably gone to Vietnam to fight to come home. They weren't into the protesting and they had just had enough. And I think, and the thought about it too was that the American people were kind of on the side of the blue collar workers. I said, yeah, we're tired of these kids, the drugs, this and that, and the flag burnings, and the public was just tired of it. And the Democrat Party has to realize, and I believe it's already happening, how tired the public is of this left wing agitation, this constant agitation. And the Republican Party at the national level, at the state level, Damon, candidates like us, we need to make sure this is an issue. And I say this all the time. We have to run on what the Democrat Party has become. And this is part of what they've become, to facilitate and promote this lawless violence, this anti-ICE rioting, looting, burning. This is what they are.
Well,
This
and
is
the
what,
thing,
and it's
but the
what
thing
they
is,
are.
it's a little different from back then, I would say, because these protesters are getting paid. They're
Yeah.
absolutely getting paid. When we were at that Tesla dealership, when that protest, I parked, and then I saw all these buses pull up, and people came out of the buses, and they had like one leader, they're wearing like a high vis safety vest, and they were guiding, down the street. And I just parked, and I just kind of mingled in with them. And I'm walking, and they gave me different. They gave me like a package. It was what to say, called Trump a fascist, called Musk a fascist, like all the talking points. And then another one was a voucher to come collect your $250 from Cooper River Indivisible. And Indivisible is one of the ones that are funding all these protests. This one was River Indivisible. And then when a guy said to me, he said, well, what group are you with? I said, I'm not with any group, I'm by myself. He said, oh, no. You got to give that back to me. And I said, yeah, it ain't happening. You got a better chance than God. So I'm not giving it back. So I put it in my pocket and I posted on the podcast. I showed it. It just said it. But yeah, they're getting paid. So you have bad actors out there with a lot of money, like the Soros types. And I forget the guy's name, the one that's in China, that billionaire, that they tracked a lot of money back to him, and they're funding it. And they're just trying to disrupt and destroy the United States for whatever reason they have behind them. And that's what it is.
Damon, it's Marxism.
Yeah, exactly.
Marxism preaches, if you study Marx, he preaches the only way to change a society is through violence. That you cannot do it peacefully, you cannot do it democratically. They implore and invoke and employ violence because you have to destroy what's existing to be able to replace it and rebuild with what you want, being a brand new communist society. This is a page out of the Marx playbook. Violence, you have to destroy the existing order with violence. And this is what they're doing. This is where they're at right now. They're openly, overtly violent and militant. And that's what they want. It's what they are. It's who they are.
Well, so they bring it to my doorstep, and I'll match their Marxist violence. So everybody knows.
Well, they need to see some of that. Seth, you're right. Because like they pick on a weak target. They pick on a woman who's alone, unarmed. They're bullies. They're bullies. They just, and they're idiots. I mean, if you ever see like the group photo of about 12 Antifa members that were arrested and the mask is off, you can look at them and say, yeah, they're Antifa. You kind of know by looking at them. It's a shame to see this, but it's part of the culture war.